Hi guys, welcome to It's All About the Dachshund channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. We have videos on puppies, travel and everyday life of mum and daughter miniature dachshunds. This week we went to visit a relative in Switzerland, the land of world-class cheese and chocolate. We went hiking in the Alps, spent some time with the Swiss brown cattle and local sheep and explored some local towns and lakes. I have placed timestamps below if you only want to watch certain parts of the video. The speed limit on the Swiss motorway is 120 km per hour, which felt very slow after driving through the German Autobahn with no speed restrictions. The mountains were coming in as I drove to my first destination called Meiringen. Switzerland is divided into 26 cantons, which are similar to states or regions in other countries. Each canton has its own government, education, healthcare and social welfare system, as well as direct taxation. The Swiss Alps cover about 60% of the country, offering some of the world's best skiing, hiking and mountaineering. The girls had a wonderful time breathing in the fresh mountain air and running around. They even saw groundhogs for the first time, which were bigger than them. The roads are really narrow and bendy, especially the more remote you drive. The buses are able to drive almost anywhere and in all weather, which is unbelievable considering the snow they get. Car drivers have to be good at reversing when buses come, which can be a bit daunting when the roads have a steep drop down. The Alpine peaks, charming mountain villages and crystal clear lakes make Switzerland a hiker's paradise. The stunning backdrops to all the routes we took were absolutely breathtaking. We started our adventure in Rosenlaui. Here we began our hike at some impressive caves and made our way to snow-capped mountains, wildflower-filled meadows and glacial valleys. Everywhere I looked was absolutely beautiful. One of the most appealing aspects of hiking in Switzerland is the extensive trail system. The country has over 65,000 kilometers of marked hiking trails, ranging from easy walks through rolling meadows to challenging alpine treks. These trails are well maintained, clearly signposted, and often connected to public transportation, making it easy to plan routes and access even remote areas without needing a car. Safety and accessibility are key strengths in hiking in Switzerland. Trails are regularly checked and updated and may include mountain huts or refuges where hikers can rest or spend the night. The Swiss Alpine Club maintains numerous huts across the country, providing shelter and meals in remote locations. Weather conditions and trail status are also readily available through local tourist offices and apps. This was a bit of a tricky trail and the dogs had to be carried on the steep parts. They are used to the rucksack, so they enjoyed their small rests. Foxy is a small mountain goat and wanted to walk most of it herself. While we were having lunch, we spotted some skiers. We assumed they trekked all the way up the mountain as the ski lifts were closed. This is one of the huts that can be used for accommodation or sells food and drink in the hiking season. We were a bit early in the year for hiking, so it was closed. However, the doors are never locked in case the weather turns and someone needs to use it for shelter. Swiss cows are on the Alps between the end of May and September. This is one of the huts used to milk the cows when they are on the higher ground. Tree cutting in Switzerland is tricky due to the steep mountains. Pulleys and lifts are used to move the tree trunks off the mountain. After a good night's sleep, we went to see the Engstlensee Alp. The lake had crystal clear water and was surrounded by snow-topped mountains. The landscape was absolutely breathtaking. This was an easier trail than the day before. The water was freezing, but Foxy was happy to get herself in the lake. We spotted about 30 groundhogs. They were so cute and would whistle quite loudly. I had never seen any before, so I was really excited. We also spotted some other wildlife. We saw one snake, the common European viper or Kreuzotter in German, and some Alpine ibex. Unfortunately, I was too slow to video them. Today was a rest day. We just went to a local lake to let the girls do their business. They were happy to go for a drive and chill on the sofa. The next day the weather was really bad, so we drove to some local farms around Hallesberg region. The typical houses are large and made of wood. These are then divided into apartments. Cattle farming in Switzerland is very traditional and plays a big role in the country's culture, economy and landscape. Swiss cattle farms are often small, family-run operations. Farming is sustainable as it preserves the Alps through cattle grazing in the summer. This pastoral lifestyle is not just a livelihood, it is a cornerstone of Swiss heritage and rural identity. Swiss farmers are endorsed by the government through subsidies and incentives, which is possible as it is outside of the EU. People can still make a living from a small herd of cows, of like 20 to 50 milking cows. This is almost unheard of in Austria. Switzerland's topography, with its mountainous terrain and lush valleys, is ideally suited for cattle farming. The majority of cattle farming takes place in the central and eastern parts of the country, especially in cantons like Bern, Lucerne and Graubünden. Swiss farmers have adopted to the Alpine environment through a practice called Alpwirtschaft. This involves moving cattle to high mountain pastures during the summer months, where they graze on nutrient-rich grass. In winter, the animals are brought back down to valley farms and housed in barns. Swiss cattle farming is renowned for its focus on dairy production. The country is famous for its cheeses such as Emmental and Appenzeller, which are made from milk produced by native breeds like the Simmental, Brown Swiss and Red Holstein. These cows produce milk that is high in fat and protein, ideal for cheese making. While dairy is predominant, beef production also contributes to the cattle farming sector. Many Swiss farms operate mixed herds and follow environmentally conscious practices, and most cattle are fed a natural diet. Here we visited Lucerne, a small city known for the chapel bridge, or Kapellbrücke in German. The bridge was built in 1333. It's one of the oldest wooden covered bridges in Europe. Inside, it features a unique series of 17th century paintings depicting scenes from Lucerne's history. This is the Lion Monument. It honors the Swiss guards who died defending King Louis XVI during the French Revolution. The next day we did a trail in Guttannen. Due to the snow, we were not able to drive all the way up. As the weather was not so great, we decided to do a walk a bit further down. Many trails pass through traditional Swiss villages where hikers can stop for a meal, taste local cheese, or stay in a mountain hut. This trail took us through some fields of really friendly sheep. The lambs were becoming independent and would play in small groups away from the mothers. It was so fun to watch. wanted to see Grindelwald as it was so well known. To be honest, it was quite disappointing as it was just full of tourists. I then made my way to Interlaken. I liked it here a lot better. There was a nice river to walk along to, and even though it was busy, it had a much better vibe. There were lots of paragliders to watch. My final stop was the Brienzerlake. It had such fabulous views. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.